How's it going, Jets fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Moran. And today we want to look at Laken Tomlinson, the New York Jets' new left guard, and talk about why he's going to upgrade this unit, what he's going to provide for Zach Wilson, this running game. The guy is an absolute mauler. He's reliable. He's durable. There's a lot of really great things to talk about. I want to break down his contract, what those numbers look like for you guys. And this offensive line, man, like last year, the start of the 2021 season, Zach Wilson was under pressure a lot. He was really running for his life. They really came together towards the end of the year, showed a lot more resiliency, showed a lot more efficiency overall. And then this year, they kind of upgraded a little bit. They're getting Mekhi Becton back. You got Elijah Vera Tucker kind of has a year of experience. They went out and got Laken Tomlinson to replace Van Roten. So overall, I think this unit will be better, especially in run blocking. And I want to discuss that. We're going to look at some Laken Tomlinson film, what he's capable of doing. I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy this episode and how that left side of the line is really coming together, especially since we project that George Font will win that left guard spot, or at least be the left guard for now, just based on his chemistry with Zach Wilson and the reliability he showed last year. And he was pretty damn good, to say the least. Before we dive into Laken Tomlinson, though, my friend, how you doing today?
Doing great, Alex. Going into free agency, obviously, there was some expectations from Jets fans that a guard would be signed. Whether it was a right or a left guard was a bit of an unknown when you factored in Laken's prior relationship with Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur, 4 years with the 49ers. And what would kind of transpire between, with Elijah Vera Tucker playing left guard last year. And if you wanted to have him move positions again, which obviously they opted to go with. And there were a lot of quality options out there going into the offseason. There were expectations, whether it was James Daniels, Alex Kappa, Brandon Scherf, Austin Corbett. There were so many guys out there. And to see the Jets ultimately strike really early on in free agency with Laken, a 2021 Pro Bowler, 2015 first-round pick, a guy who was with the 49ers the last 5 years and only missed one start, and that was because of a trade shortly before the start of the 17 season. So he just didn't play in that first game. Since then, he hasn't missed a start. He played 100% of the snaps over the last 3 years, and he's a guy 2 out of the last 3 years has been close to a Super Bowl. So I think that winning experience is very valuable for the Jets. Just his talent overall, his experience, his pedigree, I think it certainly from the jump gives the Jets an immediate boost on the offensive line for Zach Wilson, Michael LaFleur, Breece Hall, and Michael Carter in the backfield. Obviously, we're going to touch up on Laken's run blocking and just a natural fit in the scheme. And overall, I think the character is there. I spoke on it last week, just his press conference with the media, asking the beat reporters their names, things like that. And, the durability factor, if you watch the Jets behind the scenes Flight 2022 series, that was the reason they preferred him over Brandon Scherf, was just the durability. And that's a big thing. When you look at a lot of the Jets' lack of success, especially in the free agency game the last couple of years, whether it was CJ Mosley, Carl Lawson, whoever, they've just been crushed by injuries with these big contracts, Le'Veon Bell, Tremaine Johnson. So I think getting Laken, he's a very sure type of left guard, and just he's going to make this team better right away. We'll talk about him and George Fant next to each other on the left side and what they can provide. And overall, I think Laken's going to be a strong signing.
Agreed. Like you said before, he is extremely reliable and durable. 5 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 snaps, has missed one start in his career. This is a guy you want on your team, right? This is a guy that is going to come in, play every single game, every single day he'll be there at practice, and he's going to get better, right? Last year, had some issues with penalties, had 7 penalties, gave up 3 sacks, 9 QB hits, and 21 total hurries, 33 pressures overall, but played 1,264 snaps at left guard and get up 3 sacks. That's pretty damn impressive. His MO is run blocking, right? He is a mauler. He is a big guy at 6'3", 312 pounds. And when he gets his hands on you, man, he does not let go. And at the end of the day, he's not just letting go. He's going to bury you like a pile driver into the ground, and he's going to make sure that if you go his way again, he's going to kill you. And that's the kind of offensive lineman I like, because, they leave their impression on every single play. They make sure that those guys know, I don't want to go up 1v1 against that guy. If you're a linebacker, if you're a safety, and you're moving up to the second level to stop a running back, and Laken Tomlinson comes across your face, you're going the other direction. You're trying to get around him, because the second he gets his hands on you, man, it's like the grip of death. So when I look at him, I really think this is going to be a massive addition for this Jets team, especially when it comes to run blocking. Michael Carter, Breece Hall, they're going to benefit the most. But let's take a look at his contract before we dive into some of his film and what he is going to bring here and just the aggressiveness he shows. So he signed a 3-year, $40 million deal, $27 million in total guaranteed. Essentially, After the 2022 season, the Jets have the potential to kind of get out of the contract. It would be a 1-year, $13.9 million deal with an $8.5 million dead cap hit. That money, there's still some guaranteed money because he has the signing bonus on top of the guaranteed at signing. So that kind of gets prorated over the course of the contract. But if he plays well, I don't see a reason for the Jets to move on next year, or rather this year. He's a $13.9 million dead cap hit. So that's the biggest of the 3-year contract. Then you go to 2023, $8.5 million dead cap. And then in 2024, it's a $4.26 million dead cap hit with a base salary of $12.6 million. So the dead cap hit is pretty low. So, it's not going to impact the salary cap that much. They really just gave him a lot of guaranteed money to hold it down and really just spread out the cap hit over a couple of years and prorate it. So, looking at the contract, it looks like a good contract for him. I was talking to Ryan before the podcast. I was like, why did they give him so much guaranteed money? And it's because they wanted the potential to move on after the 2022 season if they wanted to. He is 30 years old, but I do think he's a good enough player that he'll be a long-term solution there, unless you guys end up with like a mid-round pick and you draft a guard. Like, there's a couple of different ways the Jets could go about this. Elijah Vera Tucker is your cemented right guard for the future. I mean, if you find a rookie guy that elevates and ends up becoming a good player, maybe you end up cutting Laken Tomlinson, but I don't see the need to. He's not making like an expeditious amount of money where like it makes sense to cut him. You still have Zach Wilson on the rookie contract window. I think that for the most part, this is a pretty healthy deal in terms of long-term solution at left guard. George Fant's another question mark. You still got to figure out if you're going to extend him, what you're going to do with him there. And then, Mekhi Becton, maybe he moves over to left tackle. So there's a lot of different moving parts here. And, down the road, we will discuss that once again. But, what is your initial impression of his contract and kind of like how the Jets wanted to structure this?
100%. So the Jets, obviously, it was well documented. They had like top 5 in the NFL in terms of cap space going into free agency, but with all of the premium draft picks they had 4 in the top 40, that that amount going into free agency was a bit overblown, and that they were going to have to really be creative with the way they structured the contracts. And in years past, Joe really kept the signing bonus money down, and it was really just even the base salaries year in and year out. Where this year it was different, and he gave all these guys, CJ Uzama, Tyler Conklin, Jordan Whitehead, DJ Reed, Laken, really just the big signing bonus money, which obviously prorates and, leads to more significant dead cap numbers. But, the base salary for this year obviously is low because of the signing bonus money up front. And, it leads to like a fair type of deal going into next year. I think Laken's going to have a great year this year and be with this team the duration of his contract. It's only 3 years. He's going to be 30 years old this year. And linemen traditionally have been going into the 30s and playing well, so I'm not really too concerned about it. And I think overall, maybe initially when you looked at some of the other guards and what they signed, you felt like it was maybe a tad bit of an overpay. But I think when you factor in his durability, his character, his experience in the system, and the fact that he was a Pro Bowler last year and brings a type of pedigree that's needed to the Jets, I think Laken's, the deal is going to be fine overall, I think, for only 3 years.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably, I don't know if he's going to end up like underplaying the contract, but I think the Jets have a good enough team where like, because you look at the 49ers, right? And they have a like elite run blocking scheme. You know what I mean? So that makes everybody look better. You got Elijah Mitchell, who's a 6th round pick going for over 1,000 yards. Like, that's crazy. So, the Jets are far from being the 49ers in terms of run blocking, like, run scheme. But I think I trust Mike LaFleur enough. I think Michael Carter showed enough, and Breece Hall is a stud. You're going to see a better version of them this year. And having Laken Tomlinson coming from a dominant system, I hope they can kind of pick his brain and maybe get some good ideas and good systematic stuff they can include from the 49ers tree of coaching. So some interesting stuff there. Let's dive into his film and kind of take a look at what he's going to offer this Jet squad. So right off the bat here, he like I said before, when he gets his hands on you, Laken Tomlinson is extremely hard to shed. You know what I mean? Like, he is strong hands. He's quick. He's very agile getting to the second level, which I like a lot about him. He's fast. So let's take a look here. I mean, he just buries this guy, snatch, and then just freaking sits on top of him. Like, that's what, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you want to do. You want to sit on top of the guy after you've just buried him in the dirt so he can't get up and make a play. I mean, he completely takes him out of the play. It doesn't really matter. Other defenders corral the ball carrier. But at the end of the day, like, this is what you want to see from your offensive lineman. Takes his assignment and puts him in the dirt and just demoralizes him. I love demoralizing defenders because they come back on the next play and they're like, damn, I just got the crap beat out of me. So, like that's something that like it goes a long way in the mental component of football. But from this first clip, like what is your first impression?
I think just for a bigger guy, his athleticism in space definitely jumps out. Obviously, in a wide zone blocking scheme that Michael LaFleur runs, that's a needed attribute to any offensive lineman's game. And to be able to get your hands on in space like that is not easy whatsoever. It speaks to just his hand technique, his placement, and obviously what we've discussed, just the pure strength that this guy plays with and his ability to sustain blocks. It's a really impressive rep.
It is. I mean, look at his speed moving laterally. You know what I mean? This is crazy. Look at he's shuffling his feet with his frame turning upfield. Like you don't see offensive linemen with this capability very often. Like he's shuffling with a linebacker. Is it in 49? Who is that? That's is that Devin White? I don't remember.
I don't think that's not Devin White.
Levante
I actually
David?
think this was before they got him.
Oh, okay. I can't remember who 49 is. It's not Levante David, is it? I can't remember who 49 is. Either way, still an impressive rep from Laken Tomlinson, and he just completely buries this man. He does this a couple times. There's one against the Browns where he literally tosses this man like 15 feet in the air. You'll see. It looks like he almost takes flight. So you'll see him at 75. Is that left guard right here? Let's see what he does. I mean, another pancake. Look at this is like freaking watching an IHOP commercial. This is unbelievable. Goes inside on like a little stunt there. Easily manages that stunt and just completely buries his opponent. And he takes out two guys, right? He doesn't take out just two guys. He takes out Aaron Donald with that little pancake. So, I mean, look at this. Just beautiful. Bam. Takes out Aaron Donald as well. That's really what you want from your left guard. He's good. He understands the game. Good football IQ. Can bury an edge rusher. I believe, is that Leonard Floyd? It might be Leonard Floyd. I'm not entirely sure who that is for the Rams, but when you're looking at this as a pass protector, what do you think?
I just think the recovery quickness is what really jumps out, and that's needed for any offensive lineman. As a pass blocker, you see this guy trying to work across his face. I can't tell if it's Vaughn or whoever, but just to be able to pick that up, and you see his physical hands again. Once he gets on, he can strain and really finish.
Yeah, maybe that is Von Miller. I mean, if it is, it's even better. It takes out Von and Aaron Donald in one rep. That's
it looked
damn
like
impressive.
Leonard Floyd was on the other side there, so it
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's take a look here. So just a good run blocking. Again, he's going up against a big interior lineman, maybe like Akeem Hicks. I can't entirely tell who that is on the Bears, but Laken Tomlinson, like look how well look at this body though. Like he completely seals that gap off, right? That's the functional strength that you want to have as an offensive guard, to just lock on like his hands. I mean, the guy is strong as a bull. Like he gets his hands on you. He does not let go. He wins leverage here. He completely opens that gap up. He does not let that defensive tackle overpower him to close that off. And he keeps it open for a good 3 seconds. And it closes just at the perfect time. Just enough, just a split second, a lickety split second enough time for that running back to get through. Watch right here, this gap closes. Just enough time. And that's what you want, man. That extra split second, that millisecond of time, you're keeping that block open. That's what it takes. And then bam, look how big of a game that ends up being. So it's really great to see as a run blocker that he can hold off defensive tackles at the point of attack.
Again, it just comes back to his hand technique. I mean, working laterally like that, to be able to get your hands on in the right place. Like you said, the leverage, obviously, he's the low man at the point, and that play strength really jumps out time and time again.
Absolutely.
Keeps his feet moving laterally.
Always. Look how quick he is to the second level, bro. Oh my goodness. He jumps out there. I mean, look at this. By the time this snaps, he's already at the second level taking out that linebacker. Great. Squares his body, keeps him in front of him, does not let him get around. That's great angle. That is, oh my God. I mean, this is like perfect technique if you're a guard and you're pulling to the second level. Get out there quickly, square your body, get your hands on him, and he's not getting away. That guy is not getting away. He's in the jaws of death right there. Beautiful.
Not easy to latch on in space like that.
No, it's not. Another little pancake. I love how he just finishes plays, though. Like, he just never stops. I mean, like, he's still going. He doesn't care. Bam. Love it. Dave Gettleman used to use the word, he is a true finisher. Dave Gettleman used to say the word hog molly for offensive linemen. Absolutely cringiest thing on the planet. I vowed to never say that again, but this guy is a hog molly. I mean, just buries. And that's a big guy. That is a big defender, 96. He completely just demoralizes this man. Look at this. I mean, he just oh, it's a big guy, man.
And his leverage comes naturally because he's 6'3", and you see that at the point. I mean, he's really the low man, and he's able to just keep his feet moving and just generates a ton of power.
Incredible. It's incredible. Unbelievable amount of power from Laken Tomlinson. Now, this play, number 35. Look at number 35, right side of your screen. This guy takes flight. I love how he just pushes him down. Dude, that's demoralizing for a defender. I mean, what is he even doing? I don't even know. He tries to actually give him a little head, like hit him in the head, and just completely gets it thrown back in his face. That's hilarious. You'd love to see that. And this is the Colts one, I think you were mentioning before. Barry, I mean, he's still going, man. He's
Against Darius Leonard.
That's awesome. That is amazing.
And if you watch the Jets Flight 2022 documentary, they thought the game that Trent Williams didn't play was the best game that Laken played last year. That's against Darius Leonard. So,
yeah, I mean, look at him go. Bam. 20 yards downfield, buries him. And then he gives him a little hand up, it seems. He reached his hand out. Maybe he even helped him up after. It's amazing. You love to see it. Incredible. We'll take one more look at this. I mean, Darius, like you said, Pro Bowl caliber linebacker, just completely demoralized.
Ton of power in those hands.
His lower body, his upper body, he gets leverage well.
Keeps moving.
I mean, body slams this guy and then gives him a hand up. Impressive, man. Laken Tomlinson is no joke, my friends. He is going to be a very big upgrade over Greg Van Roten, who was essentially a turnstile in 2021. So, that's exciting stuff. I'm sure if you're a Jets fan, you're very excited to see what the left side of this line is going to look like. He's also going to help Conor Mcgovern, for the record. McGovern, had his fair share of struggles, had a little bit better of a season last year towards the end of the season. Having a good left guard next to you who understands the game, has a high IQ, he's reliable, durable. He, can understand stuns, so he can help you out. And he takes guys out just by body slamming them in the dirt. Like, he's going to help everybody around him. So, that's kind of the thing. Like, good players make everybody around them better. And I think that's kind of like where the Jets faltered at left guard, or rather right guard with Greg Van Roten last season. But now you have a Vera Tucker moving a right guard, right? So Tomlinson's going to be at the left guard position. I'm excited to see it, man. This is a pretty exciting guy. Any last thoughts on Laken here?
I think he's the final piece of this offensive line. You entered the offseason feeling great about George Fant at left tackle. No, you had Elijah Vera Tucker as one of your guards, Mekhi Becton coming back, and Conor McGovern, a solid, sure thing at center. This was really the last piece the Jets needed, was a true dominant guard that's going to make a difference as both a run and pass blocker. And I think, like I said, Laken's leadership, the respect that he commands, I think he's the perfect addition to this offensive line for Zach Wilson and this offense.
Yep, I agree. But guys, if you guys like Laken Tomlinson, make sure to send a message to us in the comment section on YouTube. Your thoughts about Laken, your excitement about this offensive line, your just any general ideas you have. Love to talk with you guys, build a community. As always, my friends, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Jets episode.